the family is around. So when they go for family gatherings, family other members affirm that person. Family members say things, you're looking so nice, you're looking this, and all of that. They say things, they deposit into that account for you. The person comes to church and they hold maybe a position in church, and the group around that is their birthday. You may not be doing enough as birthday. Maybe you even forgot, you remember, you get it. But there are people who are doing work for you that you didn't know, that greet, that have sent things, that deposit, that affirm. They meet classmates that say, are you still brilliant? You haven't told her or him how brilliant they are, but at least classmates are saying you are. Do you get what I'm saying here? Then suddenly, without knowing what is happening, you uproot yourselves and then land in a place of strangers. So it is now the dynamics. Do you understand this? Or the dynamics there. Even going for party, the guy goes out, meets with his friends, gists with his friends. All right, he does things for that person. There are deposits that are made into the heart of that person. I mean, even, Nigeria, that's why Nigerians are happy. They will do social function, people are dancing. There's something that is being deposited. All that has disappeared, you land in a strange land where the songs they are singing are strange. Are you following me? Then what is happening? Why did it take 6 months? All the reservoir from Nigeria is being withdrawn. It's being withdrawn. After some time, you are now alone. Now, the person just suddenly starts saying, let me tell you this, let me tell you, I've seen people in this church punch themselves in malls and they will never do it here. Never. But it's the stress. There's no, the withdrawal. There is not there. All right? Those things are not there. So you can relocate. That can happen. There can be a change of job. That's why if you say, I married the person, he had a good job. Okay, what if he loses the job? How now do you now marriage losing the job here? You know, I was in a meeting in Washington 2 weeks ago. I won't say what she said. It's just that unfortunately it's not on YouTube. It was a leadership meeting. They asked her, when a woman is earning so much more than a man, they asked Pastor Bigwatch, how does she manage it? I can't say what she said. Go and ask her what she said. I cannot say, when she said, I looked, I said, go and ask her what she said. When you see her, say, Pastor, what you say? You said something. What is it? And she will tell you. But those things bring real tension. And if you don't have certain skills, I want to talk about the pressure. Or you could even have somebody who is doing, both of you are doing well, and he decides to go into business. And what now happens is, and that's why if people are doing business, somebody should have a steady income. Because you know how payment is in Nigeria. You may even have done good business, the payment is running to hundreds of millions, but they are not paying. 6 months, what happens in those 6 months? When you marry the person was working here, was doing, now the person doesn't. Are you following what I'm saying here? Stress comes. Decisions, therefore, have to be made. It's the first time that person is in a position where if somebody says, I think this is where this decision we should go. And the person is thinking, is it because I don't have money they are saying this? Meanwhile, when both have money, nobody would suspect. Are you following what I'm saying? So imbalance in power structure. Someone can even fall ill for a while. Things can happen. Even people can have change of weight. You don't know. You say you marry size 6 now. You yourself, you have changed, but you don't know you have changed. You are looking at it that this person is, what is happening? Those things happen. It is inevitable. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is where there are differences, so those things now escalate. Which means it is not those changes that is the problem. It is the fact that so those fault lines, those things put pressure. So the fault lines, it's just like saying the house did not collapse because of the storm. The house collapsed because it lacked a foundation. The storm only revealed the foundation. And in those times, the one thing you must master, I say it again, is the words you speak. You can wipe out deposits with words. Where a person just opens and you say, all right, learn, all right, to keep quiet. If you can't say the right thing, do not say the wrong thing. So you go to 3 qualities quickly. Adaptability, which is something you have to learn because you adapt. I've told you that there are things that happen. A person can even get promoted. There's adaptability there. And you have to learn how to adapt here. The other thing that I would say, but it's more for singles, so let me just quickly go because of time. And adaptability has to do with managing differences. And if you know how to manage those differences, and there will be differences. All right? So, there'll be differences here. If you can marry somebody and was good, if the person gets called to ministry, the social life of that activity of that person is greatly reduced. But if a person you married, let's assume you married where you are both social people and they want to continue social life, it can become a problem. But you see, you have to understand the balance of this thing. Because you married him, they give you honor automatically in some places. Balance it now. You can't say, what I said, I still want to be. Are you following what I'm saying here? So adaptability there. Because change is inevitable. Adjustments you have to deal with when unexpected happens. And before we get into the first thing I want to say in terms of adaptability, I'll give an example, is that before you marry any person, understand you are married to God first. If you don't understand your marriage to God, you will look from a person what the person doesn't have to give. You will put too much on that person. I want to extract from that person what that person doesn't have. Isaiah 54 verse 5, it tells you that your husband, I'm not saying you should go and quote this one wrongly in the house. So you can quote something. For thy maker is thy what? Husband. Don't go home and say my maker. you will go to the house of your husband. Because some people come and quote. And let me just tell women this. Don't use the church or your pastor as a leverage for power in the dynamics of the home. Don't do it. This is why many men don't come to church. Because, somebody did it once, and I looked at her. The man had never gone to church in his life. The first church he ever came was Covenant. We just got on television. He said, I like the way he came. And he started getting active. He wanted to participate and all of that. And one day, prayer meeting on Saturday, she came to meet me. I said, Pastor, I want to tell you something. I turned. I said, what is it? And she told me. I said, have you told your husband? She said, no, I'm just going to go and tell him. Kai. When he got there, of course, the guy didn't agree with what she was saying. She now said, but I've already told Pastor to block him. That was the last day he came into church. That's why some men stay at home. So that what your pastor says is your pastor. Me too, I have my own pastor. Where's your pastor? It's online. We're in New Zealand. When he cancels, I'll collect my own. It is politics that is happening in the house. Are you following what I'm saying? The way some of you are looking at me is that you should do marriage seminar. Oh, let me go on here. So Isaiah 54 verse 5 here, it says here, for thy maker is thy husband, the Lord of hosts is his name. So the affirmations you make about the fact that, because another time, Christ is your husband, so that he takes up some space. So there is some deposit about Christ being your husband there. All right? And then again, you must understand how to forgive. And when I say forgive, sometimes people do things knowingly or unknowingly, because that's the closest. You have to master that art there, not to hold on to. People may feel slighted, and I'll explain it. Or say someone, and people are not aware. Some people know, but some, they are not even aware as to how painful that thing is to you as a person. So, you must master the art of forgiveness. And mastering the art of forgiveness means you get into prayer for that person. And pray for that. Now, praying for your wife doesn't mean I'm praying for my wife to be what she's supposed to be to me. I'm praying for my husband that I may find favor in his eyes and he will give me money. Do you get? Because most of the prayer is not even for the well-being of, but towards you. So you pray there. And then adaptability. Let me just say, the ability to adapt to things. You're going to meet with situations where things are different. You can, and there are high things and there are low things. And you must know the high things and the low things. Particularly men in exercise of authority, there are some things you should just let go. There are some things, you see, you listen, so I can't use my mouth to say everything because I can't say everything. So that, if you say men's meeting, maybe you can say it that, and it's not online. So you will know things. But what type of curtain is in the house? It's not your business. The way the bed sheet is not your business. Leave it.